shook where the shadows creep. The silence broken, secrets buried deep. Flashes of lights in a midnight sky. A mystery unfolds and the truth asks why. Chasing whispers on the wind. What really happened? We're craving the facts. In the heart of the night, as the truth attracts. They come in shadows, they come to play. But will we uncover what they took away? Footprints leading to a hidden base, with whispers of beams from outer space. The world was watching, eyes on the prize, but the government lied as the silence lies. Truth or illusion, we'll never know what really happened. We're craving the facts in the heart of the night, as the truth attracts. They come in shadows, they come to play. But will we uncover what they took away? In the dusk of history, secrets last. Somewhere in the starlight, shadows cast.
Wow.
That was sudden.
That was
I
cool.
know. It's today. It's because it was the trailer was quite long. I tried to hang with it in, but me being me, it was late at night. It was 3:30 in the morning.
That's all right. That was pretty good, man. I like that song. You sent me that song, and I've been listening to it in the Hummer, and it's just I've been turning it up and cranking it. It's a good song for you.
Yeah.
Very cool.
It's amazing
So
what
this- Yeah, that's amazing. If you want that music, you can use it any time. I can give you the full track because I made it on that an AI. I've got it on my phone, so you just turn it on to make. You put the phone away and go and do something, and I'll actually produce it for you. It's called Donna. Did I not give you the Apple?
you sent me the link. Yeah, I sent me the link for it. So
Yeah.
Very cool.
So guys, welcome
Welcome
Tim
everyone. Hi, Christine.
and,
Hi, Denise.
you show.
Hi,
Let's
Christine.
get everybody in the chat there. And look who we have, guys. Now I've put the link in the description, guys. Go over and give them a subscribe. They're getting close to the truth about
We are
beer.
getting close.
So there you go. Yeah. Give them a subscribe. Let's get them to 1,000. You know.
Let's see. Oh, change here.
You pulling it up?
Yeah, well, I've copied the link, so now I need to get here. Here we go. I need to mute my phone. Here we go.
Technology, Tim.
Right.
Then I get one for out there.
So guys,
Great when it works.
Hi, Lindsay.
so guys, I've also put Tim's actual links are below the video, so all you need to do is click on that, and you will find out there. Oh yeah, I've thought everything.
Oh yeah.
The trailer did end abruptly because I was what you call it? It was early in the morning for him. It was like 3 a.m. I couldn't sleep, and I thought I'm going to make Tim a trailer for the show. Yes, one eye open, and I did it. It only took me 3/4 of an hour, but I did it for Tim.
I can't wait.
You know, but I've
It
got
was
an
great.
output, I can't remember what that one looks like, actually. I can't remember what that looks like. So, guys, tonight we're talking about an interesting location that Uncle Tim and Joey were talking about on Wednesday. I mean, you were talking about underground bases, and I mean, Denver International Airport. Tim, do you want to take it away, Tim, and tell us about that?
We're talking about the Denver DIA airport. We're talking about what's below the airport. When I was working with the airline, well, I guess I started in '85. So through the late '80s and the early '90s, I got to witness the new Denver airport being constructed, and it was incredible. And to see the construction, we stayed at a small hotel. It's out in the middle of nowhere, right down the highway. We stayed in a hotel, so we would watch the construction. Every time we'd fly in there, we'd see new construction, and my gosh, the construction and the trucks and the dirt and the building materials and everything just constantly going, like 24 hours a day. At night, the place was lit up with lights, and they worked on this for years, man, just pulling earth out of the ground, taking it to way out, and dumping it. And so it was kind of interesting, at the time we didn't think nothing about it, but then we started hearing rumors that, they're building something huge under the Denver airport. And it was a lot of conspiracy theory and, rumors. And then all of a sudden they started decorating the Denver airport, and it became very, very suspicious because of what they were putting in their designs in the airport. So we'll get into that.
I mean, it's look, I'm going to say this now. I watched multiple programs with this, Tim. Enjoy it. I've watched this. This is all I've done all week, is just watch program. Jesse Ventura, he did a video on it, and the sheer amount of dirt that they take out, there was no need for that. It's the total flat land, and I do have ideas what it might be for, but I'll let you guys go first.
Yeah, it's. Well, I've got my theories of what it is. Let's hear everybody else's theories.
Joey?
Of what's underneath here?
Yeah. You have any opinions, or have you heard anything, rumors?
I think it's the extraterrestrial highway under the ground.
Do you think so?
Links them all.
I think it's the hub, the main hub
of
all the tunnels underground from Washington to LA to Canada, everywhere. I think that's a central. It's a spoke, wheel and spoke system, and I think that's the hub.
Yeah, I mean, I actually went and looked up the plans for the place.
Yeah,
it's quite interesting because the plans are all blacked out. And why would they do that? I mean, why would they? Somebody says to me, but they've got to have subway systems. They've got to have that kind of thing, infrastructure and stuff. I can understand that, but the sheer amount of dirt they take out was ridiculous. See, I've got a different. I do think it's the hub, like you say, but I actually think it might be a hardened base underneath that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it's a combination military, UFO, government, secret.
I've actually got some pictures here on the way up there.
So they used to have the plans. I used to see the plans, and they were all redacted. And I guess they finally got them unredacted. But
crazy.
No,
it's a big place.
The amount of earth that came out from under that airport is just. I think they said it would fill Texas Stadium like 17 times. There's just no way to excavate that much earth without having something enormous down there. And that's been going on ever since it was first started. So it still goes on.
Yeah.
So, and I believe Elon Musk has something to do with tunnels, and I think we're going to hear about it soon.
I mean, feel free, Joey, feel free to flip through the pictures.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm anxious to hear what you guys have to say, because it's been a busy week. I have to admit, I didn't do as much research on it. I mean, I have, my suspicion.
That's fine. That's fine.
Right. That's fine.
We're here to entertain what you found, and
this is one of the tunnels. So this is one of the only tunnels you're allowed to really film. So it's obviously where they take the baggage and they move stuff about. But there's so many other tunnels underneath it. I mean, there's reports out there that there's miles and miles and miles and miles. And let me say that again, miles of tunnels underneath it. It's got subway systems connecting it. It's not just that. The people that worked in it, some of the people that worked in it, taking the dirt out, were actually had to sign the Official Secrecy Act. I didn't know that. I actually found out the American version of the Secrets Act. So why would you have to do something like that if it was just an airport?
Right. It's not. And some contractors have accidentally stumbled into areas where they weren't supposed to be, and they've gotten in a lot of trouble about it and had to sign NDA, non-disclosure agreements, and they've been sworn to secrecy. But a few people have. There's some whistleblowers that have gotten turned around on a lost, couldn't get out. They were down there forever, couldn't get out, and saw some amazing things. And they described what they saw. It's like an underground, huge city. It's very militarized. And then they said it's like fortified. It's like
Oh yeah.
like the mountain, like our
NORAD.
You're talking.
no, in Colorado, our defense
Yeah,
underground
NORAD.
base. That's
It's not NORAD.
Cheyenne Mountain. You're talking about Cheyenne Mountain.
yeah,
Yeah.
Cheyenne.
Yeah.
They've got the big doors, nuclear doors on it and everything,
Mhm.
but they said there's an underground area that's completely fortified and
Yeah.
top security. So, yeah, it's pretty interesting.
See, I've looked into a lot of the artwork, right, and a lot of people say, right, it's just sublime. They just did that, and I know for a fact, right, that see I'm going to bring up the Masonic here. That's obviously because we've got the pyramid in the background here, right, and it is in the trailer too. The Masonic Lodge is known for being conspiracy, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's well known.
Secret.
I in my village, I've got the oldest Masonic Lodge in Scotland.
Wow.
It's one of the oldest in Britain, actually. It was one of the first founded. And I actually get that. It's not before I've talked about this, I actually know Masons. And it's quite interesting because we know what Masons are. How the Masons came about. They came because they worked for the Templars.
Masons.
They built the churches, they built the castles because they leave their remarks on castles. The church next door to me from the 12th century, it's got the Masons mark, and above it, it's got the Knights Templars mark above it. Okay. Now, it's got the horse, which you can see behind Joey here. It's got the amazing horse. So I've actually got one during the daylight here.
Yeah.
Look at that thing with the red eyes. Now, it is creepy, that, isn't it? I mean, it is creepy. And this is the thing about, and this is where it takes the darker toll. They say that the Masonic Lodge and stuff like that, because there is different types of Masons. A lot of people don't realise that. You've got the Scottish Rite Masons, which are the ones in my village, which are the older ones, the more powerful ones.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the other ones that you get like in America and like France and Germany and stuff like that. You get other ones that are like that, but they're no the same. They're not at the same level. These people are more secretive. But it was actually an old Mason friend that told me he's actually passed away now. He was in his 90s when he died, and I don't think he was that bothered if he told me or not. But he always told me, he says, we like to put things in plain sight.
Hiding in plain sight.
Yes.
And that's what they've done with the inside of Denver Airport. Do you have the pictures for Denver?
Oh, I do indeed.
All right. Now, so, I think it also has to do with the Illuminati, which that's tied in there somewhere.
I was going to name it there. So we've got that there, which is obviously a plaque to the designers, and here's a closer up one.
And tells you the same one from Washington, D.C., the same mark.
Yes, exactly. March, what is that? 1994. At the very end, I can't see that because they got up to the screen. You notice at the bottom, it's got the New World.
Yes, New World Airport Commission.
Yeah. Isn't that weird? Weird because remember they had the New World Order.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is where it takes a kind of creepy toll, because see these pictures, it betrays, and it's actually been proven that it betrays things that have happened and still to happen.
It's been.
So it's like
murals and paintings of prophecy that have come to pass.
Yes.
They've got things that in 92 that were up on the walls that didn't, they had no meaning until they happened. And then now we understand the meaning of the mural, but it's really crazy. It's sort of like a
it's creepy
prediction,
because the way the world's going, obviously we can't talk about politics and we can't talk about how things are happening right now. We know what happens, Tim, when we talk about politics.
Yes, we do. Yeah. We can't do that. We made that mistake.
We don't want all about beer just to disappear,
Our computer blew up, man. We got too personal, and we got too political, we got too military, and our show just completely blew up and disappeared.
It disappeared. But
I do have a question.
Off you go, man. Go for
it. Does anybody know anything about the artists that did the paintings? Is there any history on that? Is there any relevance to that?
See, I looked that up, and it doesn't get into detail about them. It just it just tells you who they are, and I've got to I need to go look. But it doesn't really get into detail about who they were. They were commissioned.
There are no
By someone.
signatures.
Yeah, there's no signature. So they were commissioned by obviously the Masonic Lodge
Right.
to build the place and do it. But here's one of the pictures, right? This is when you walk in. I've looked at the floor plan of the place there because I've been watching videos. I've never been in an airplane before, but I've watched the floor plan of the place. I've actually got the map of the entire building on my laptop and stuff like that because I was nosy. So here's the first one, right? So it looks quite peaceful, doesn't it? I mean, you get the flags, the British flag, the Irish flag, the American flag. If you look closely at it, just look closely at it.
Look at the bottom at the skull and the doves, and he's holding.
Yeah.
There are so many hidden things in this picture that you just don't even. It doesn't make sense until there was a documentary on explaining what all of these things meant.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of devil. There's a lot of Satanists or Satanistic.
See, I actually looked what this one meant, right? So I need to watch what I say here, right? Because obviously it's the country I live in, so I need to kind of like dance round about what that one really means. And it's the same for you guys in the United States. It's basically to do with like people coming into your country, starting to overflow your country, starting to different
within
people coming in. You know what I'm talking about here.
Yeah.
You're having the same problems. We're having the same problems. But it's that on a grand scale. It's that on a grand scale. So that's what they want to do. They want to like try and get rid of like nations. They want to get rid of like nations. They want to get rid of the idea of like say Great Britain. They want to get rid of the idea of like United States. Because let's face it, the United States is one of the most powerful, mighty nations on the planet. Nobody messes with anybody's friends with the United States.
They want one leadership. They want one money.
Yeah.
They want one world money. They want to delete all the other currencies. They want to go to I guess it will be like a crypto where there will be no paper money.
Yeah.
But it's they've tried to do it from outside the country and they've had no success. So now I think they're trying to do it from within inside.
Yeah. I mean, I'm all for like
socialism. Yeah.
I'm all for like people to like be away from war zones and be free and stuff like that, right? But what they're doing is they're trying to change the map of Europe. The map of Europe's changing. The map of Europe's changing because Britain will not be Britain in about, say, I don't know, 10 years from now. Because our government's got this thing called the 2030 agenda. It's where nearly everybody will lose their cars.
Right.
To get rid of all the petrol and diesel cars for all these mad electric things.
I think that'll stop. I think we've stopped that, and I hope we have. But I think we were headed that way, and with this last administration, we had a lot of the people that were the woke big thinkers wanting, no cars, no gasoline, no washers, no dryers, no showers, whatever.
Yeah.
And I think the people of the United States have responded saying, we don't want to go there. So I think there's going to be a cleaning of the house, and the agenda is going to, I believe, is going to get just the head of the snake is going to get cut off. It's going to stop.
What's interesting in the UK, though, on the side of the UK side, that they're wanting to close the farms down.
Yeah.
All the farms.
Mm-hmm.
And they say we're eating too
cattle.
much meat. We're eating too much meat, and they're causing too much CO2 and all this.
Cows are farting, and
it's all that kind of stuff. But it's not just that they're taking our vehicles, but they're taking your right, and they're wanting to bring in these things called 15-minute cities, but everything's in like. So this is the idea, and this is the thing about. I wouldn't say more the Masonic Lodge because they're the ones that built the place, right? I'm talking down the line of like Illuminati here. I'm going down the round of like secret black governments here, the ones that really run
BlackRock.
Yeah. Here's another picture.
Name one of them. We better be careful.
Yeah, I do. I see Tim getting abducted by aliens or something like that. So if you look at this, right, and honestly, I spent people in the chat. If you look at this kind of stuff, right, I mean, you just think, it's a picture with a guy with a sword, but what does it represent? What does that represent?
The
If you
gas
stare at that
mask,
long
the
enough-
AK-47, the sword, it's spooky, man. I mean, what?
Of course it is.
It's just
So the broken down building on the right that has
Yeah.
I can't remember the significance of that. That is a popular
It's
ruin
classic war zones. Mhm.
that is. I think it's in Europe, isn't it?
Right. I
And
sat and looked at this for a while, right? And then I went and watched videos on it. I've watched videos on every single mural. I'm going to say that now. That's why my head's, maybe that's why I've had a migraine all week. But what I'm going to say, right, see if you look at the trail of people, first of all, what does that look like to you? What is
a trail of people coming into some sort of waiting in line with their, I don't know, a dead child, or are they coming or going? It looks like they're going.
No, they're leaving a war-torn site. So if you look at this image, right, they're leaving a war-torn. So you've got the buildings in fire, right? So people are leaving the war-torn. What's happening right now, without naming any names, in the Middle East?
Right.
Right. So, and then that's the people leaving the war-torn countries, the countries that's fallen apart. And so they should, because women and children should flee a war zone, which I think, I mean, we have to protect the women and children and stuff. But then if you look at the guy with the sword, what does the sword represent? Think about it. Come on. That soldier means there's two things, symbols with that soldier. I'll take it down the now so as we can see each other. What does that symbolize for you?
I mean, he's controlling what's going on there.
I was going to say power, but
yeah,
it's power. That's very good. It's power. And what does the sword represent? It represents a sense. Let's go back to the flags, okay? So some flags, like the Turkish flag or flags in nature, have got a sword on them in the Middle East, don't they? You see where I'm going with this? And then you've got, there's my dog got to be barking at something. But then you've got the soldier. So this is a war-torn country, and you've got the doves of peace getting killed there. So they look like they're getting killed, right? So these people are fleeing. That's what they're fleeing. They're fleeing the war-torn famine war. That's what that represents, right? Why would you put that in an international airport?
No idea. And remember, this is back in the 90s when there was no people fleeing countries. There wasn't like there is now, because of war.
Yeah.
So it was almost like predicted.
For people in the chat wondering what we're looking at, this is the murals inside Denver International Airport.
Yeah, bring up that first one again with the flags. There's one obvious thing there.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to flags of since this was painted back in the early 90s and what's been being shoved down our throats.
What you mean
as of late?
Israel.
No, there's a certain flag that envelops that whole picture.
Over there on the left with the moon and star.
The rainbow.
The rainbow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the rainbow.
Mm-hmm. Well done. Then you got to watch what you say nowadays. So that's so you've got the rainbow. Then you've got the troubles. What's happening right now with the Middle East? You've got the what do you call it? The Israeli flag. There's my dog barking and get her out. So you've got the flags now, which is a terrible thing that's happening now. Then you've got the doves of peace, which is getting squashed, really, because let's face it, what's happening over there now is terrible. What's happening over there right now is terrible.
Yeah.
Why can we not just all live in peace? Why can we all just be friends? Why can we... It's no us, it's people in the other realms, the other world, right? So let's go to a different picture. I find this one's quite an interesting one. What's your opinion of this one? I watched multiple videos on this, guys, and it's look. everybody that's in the chat, look up Denver International Airport conspiracies, right? And honestly, why would they put this? Why would they put this kind of stuff in an airport? Because it's weird.
Everything in there has a meaning, a secret meaning.
Everything has a meaning, and this is the thing that I need to try to say to people in the chat. We should.
This
love
isn't just
each other.
art.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
this isn't just decoration. This is communication. This is acknowledgement of. It's almost like subliminal.
Yes, it's like something that's about to happen.
Yeah,
because
it's telling a story.
There's some more creepy. This is the last creepy one, right? So you've got this. I mean,
yeah, the penguin in the box always got me. I used to stare at that one, and the buffalo head, and you have the shark ribs.
Yeah,
those aren't shark ribs. Those are the tusk of a
elephant tusks.
Not elephant. Yeah. The older ones,
bison or mammoths.
Yes, mammoth tusk. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense at all, and it's burning, and the parrot in the box, the penguin in the box. I mean, what is this saying, man?
It's weird, and that's maybe why I've got such a migraine. I've had a migraine for a week now, and I've just been watching like multiple videos. I mean, this is the creepiest one, right? This is the creepiest. If you think of what's happening right now with the pollution and the weather changes and the forests that are burning, right? It says if the person that painted this, or what he was told to paint, was foretold the future. Do you notice the little girl with pigtails in the glass box and the kind of coffin and the casket in the bottom corner,
and the dead leopard,
and the dead leopard, and then you've got the forest that's fire, but then you've got like a weird bird in a box. Why would you put something? I mean, that's quite bad.
Yeah,
this is quite horrific. What this is. Why? And people in the chat, because I'll come back to the chat because I want to see what everybody's saying. Why would you see that? You know what I mean?
I don't know. The friends I used to go through there with, the other crew members, they said it's just art. You know, like when you go to a museum.
I'm just going to say to Bobby in the chat, we're not coming across as that, man. We're not coming across as that. We're not saying that. We're just saying what's represented.
No.
We're not saying that.
No,
Bobby.
We're not saying that at all.
No, but it's like what's going on in the world right now, and it's weird. It's nothing to do with that, Bobby. Just that's fine there, but just saying that it's weird what's happening, and it's weird how that everything is coming true, because as if you look at the way the world is right now, with the pollution, with the disasters. Look at the disasters that happened. Is it North Carolina?
Yeah, yep.
That was freaky. I mean, that was horrendously freaky. You know.
But you know, when you go to a museum and they have all the abstract paintings and arts and stuff, you sit there and look at it, and it's, you know, the guy that painted it just had a wild, you know, just that was his mind and what he just came out of his mind. That's not what this stuff is. This stuff has meaning. This stuff is like I said, I think it's subliminal, but I would walk with the crew members and they're like, no, it's just art, man. That's just somebody just, you know, expressing their imagination and all. But no. It can't be. And I can't remember the name of the show where they go through and they point out each one of these things and they tell what it represents. And that's where it gets scary. But I guess anybody can translate whatever they want into it. But
just to say to Indigo in there and Bobby, we weren't saying anything about that. Jesus Christ, no. We weren't saying anything like that. But we're just saying that how things symbolizes things. And why would they put that in there?
Because in
the place.
Yeah.
So don't worry.
Because we back in the 90s, 89, 90, this is all prediction. We didn't fly rainbow flags. We didn't fly
I think it's a prediction of the future. The future.
It's a prediction. It is. It's a prediction.
I think we should live in a world, and this is my honest opinion. I think we should live in a world where everybody can love everybody. You can be who you want to be. You can dress who you want to be. You can do what you want to be. But I think this is a prediction
Yeah, they see all of these things coming together.
Yes.
As
and it's
one.
just like a story. It's like a story being told. It's like they have knowledge of the way the world's going to be. But what worries me, I'm not worried about the flag part. I'm worried about the burning and the chaos and what's coming, because it is coming. Let's face it, it's coming to destroy us. It's coming. There's got to be disasters. There's got to be more wars. And if we don't do something about it soon, we're going to end in a bad way. What's this there, Jenny Adams here? Chris, totally agree. Everybody should be able to
Yeah,
do exactly.
This is not about protesting. This is not about looking on anything negative. It's about coming to a conclusion of what they're trying to say about this place. And the fact that it's on one of the biggest hubs and military bases in the world, and it's connected to the whole world. It's like everything's coming to like there.
Exactly.
And that has a lot to do with what's under that airport. That's like ground zero.
I'd be interested to see, if you take these pictures, you take the pictures individually, you can spend hours looking at them, right? Trying to decipher what's being said. I'd love to take each of these pictures, put them side by side, and see what you guys are saying. If it truly does represent a storyboard, like a prediction, it tells a story, because you stare at one picture for a half an hour, the four of us can come up with
all different things.
Yeah, I'd love to see them side by side.
And I can interpret one little thing and you could say, oh, okay, I see that, but it may not be.
See the rainbow. I don't think the rainbow stands for
I
don't think it does stand for that. I think it stands for something else. I'm going to say that right now. It's no the pride flag. It's where it's here. I think it's something totally
I think it
different.
more has a symbol more of the rainbow out of the Bible than any other meaning.
That's what I think it is. And I think it's to do, like, we've got all the nationalities here. We've got everybody here. So that is what it stands for.
Under the rainbow.
Yeah. It's the world is changing so quick. And it's quite like that person said in the chat. Who said that? It's like somebody's maybe channeled this. Because we've got a lot of tarot readers in here tonight. We've got a lot of psychics in here tonight. What happens if they've channeled this and they've foreseen what's coming to happen?
Right.
But it's something that needs to be talked about, because I know people that flew through that airport.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's interesting. That is really interesting. It could represent
that's
the
true.
tree of life.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Chakra.
That's something I never thought about that.
7 colors.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Grounded as all these beliefs become one and become spiritual as one, and it's all protected.
That is actually a really good point. And well done. What's her name? Jamie. Honestly, that is actually that's actually what that.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Because all nationalities becoming one. Think about it.
Protected under the rainbow.
Yes, and protected
of chakra.
Yeah, and so that's what it's basically. Everybody will have the same kind of religion. Everybody will have the same kind of things. I think it's just weird, right? It's just weird how they would put that in plain sight. Guys, see if you've got a chance, go and watch it, right? Because there's something creepy about that place.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you one to go and watch, right? And this is something that might explain it a wee bit better for you. You ever heard of I Pet Goat?
The what?
I Pet Goat, it's called. And it's actually a video that was made. Oh my God. It was a video that was made in 2000 and I think 6 or 7. And it actually shows you what's that famous church, and is it Paris, is it Amsterdam, what do you call it, the big one that burnt down, you know, the one about
no
I actually showed you that burning down 10 years before it happened.
Wow.
It showed it burning down. It shows you it burning down. Notre Dame, thank you very much, Lord D.
Notre Dame.
Yeah, Notre Dame. Thank you very, very much for that. But it's like people like to put these things in plain sight. And what worries me is why would you have a complex there? See, I've heard so many ideas that this is the new government headquarters because the day said something's about to happen. I mean, we can all feel it, guys. Everybody that does the tarot readings, everybody that's a psychic knows that there's something.
Yeah, the change. And I think it started in 2012. I think it didn't. It's not going to be overnight thing. It's going to be a years of progression of change. So it's not immediate, but it is changing. And because every psychic and seer and medium and channeler, they're all seeing the change. They all talk about the change coming, and they all have different views of what the change is, but nobody really has nailed it down. But everyone sees the change. You hear that everywhere.
See, there's a lot of people out here who want to speak about this kind of subject, but you have to speak about it really because this might be our last chance before it happens.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
It's Joey. What's his opinion of the world in this place?
That's a loaded question.
I'm just glad I'm the age I am.
Yeah, Joey's been through so much.
I
don't think he cares.
A lot of things I don't really want to witness. I think at this point,
Look at that! I didn't know that. Well done, Julie. Look at that.
That's strange. Interesting. That's interesting.
Wow.
Do they go through the air? Do they go under the tunnels all the way there?
Under the ocean?
Yeah.
I can't wait. I can't wait for exposure for
Oh well, they came out the other day there and said the aliens exist, and everybody's like, they're more worried about what's happening with TikTok than the aliens. They seemingly live under the sea, and their cities under the sea, and nobody seems to be bothered. I mean, did you see that, guys? I don't know if you guys out there seen that in the chat, that there was disclosure the other day in Congress that says there's extraterrestrials live under the sea.
Yes, the UFO, the committee hearings. Did you see that with Alessandro and he's like one of the top secret things. They talked a lot about what they were allowed to say and what they were not allowed to say, and all of the different congressmen questioned them, asked them questions, and like, are there entities, are there aliens, and without saying yes, they don't say no,
right?
Because they're all sworn to secrecy. But nobody said no.
What they do say is that we're not alone.
Oh, we're not alone, and they even mentioned that they've got bodies, but they don't know where they are and they don't know who's got them.
Some of us know, some of us don't. I mean, yeah, there are people that know. I think the top leaders of the world, maybe not the G7, maybe even higher than that, but I think the top families of the world, the Rockefellers, I think, the Morgans, all the people that died and didn't die on the Titanic.
So that's another subject in its own, the Titanic. I mean, good God, that's something you guys should talk about. You should talk about the Titanic. And is it the Titanic or is it the sister ship?
Yeah, I think it's the Olympia. I think they swapped it out for insurance reasons and also to get rid of some people, very, very important people in this world.
I'm going to say this today. See the UFO sightings that have been out of Denver Airport.
Yeah, I'm going to say an iceberg can't sink the Titanic. I think it was unsinkable. But a lot of people believe that. But
see, that's interesting today. And that's something that hopefully, I don't know if the new president of America will do anything about that, but there's something, where is it? The child trafficking. That's a subject that we should really talk about because That is horrendous. I mean,
It is.
that
There's no telling.
has happened to those children is absolutely. There's hundreds, thousands of children disappear every year.
Hundreds of
They
thousands.
don't know where they go.
They lost the paperwork, they said.
Yeah, and some of them are.
They're still here.
They lost the paperwork, but
They lost the paperwork, but the children are still here. It's like there should be kids everywhere.
it's
350,000?
Is that how much it is?
No, 350,000 is what they've lost track of. Or they had 350,000. They have 126,000 that they've lost paperwork on.
Yeah.
But I mean, none of that makes any sense to me at all. Yeah, I think this goes really, really deep.
It goes deep, and I think one day we will find out the truth.
Yeah, we'll find out. It's going to be horrible.
It's going to be horrible, and I think it's got parts to play, because you think about these kids that just disappear off the face of the earth. How do they get them about? Think about it. How do they get them about without getting noticed?
Well,
I mean, what happens if you're using tunnel systems and you're maybe using secret airports like this? Because it might look like a normal airport to you when you're walking about and boarding your plane to fly to San Francisco or fly somewhere else, right? But how do you know what's going on below your feet?
Right.
How do you know there's no like kids in cages?
It could be here, or it could be out there. I mean, nobody still can explain over 1.8 million Mayans disappeared from the earth. No traces, no skeletons, no burials, no nothing. They still can't explain that.
It's got to be portals.
Portals, abduction ships going.
This is just we're on the edge. We're on the edge of the rabbit hole.
Going
into
other dimensions and staying there.
Yeah, they still never really gave us a good answer for all the children in Maui that disappeared during the fire.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's like K-Bar says there, the boats weren't enough, but I don't know if you ken this, K-Bar, but in the Titanic, a lot of the second class or the third class passengers were actually locked in the holds,
right,
and they went down with the ship,
sealed off. Right.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let them out, and this is an actual fact. They wouldn't let them out because the first class passengers were the first ones to get the boats.
Right. And then women and children, but it was first class first.
Yeah, it was first class, but it was still first class. It was women and children and stuff. The movie doesn't portray what really happened,
right,
to a scale. I mean, there's actually people out there that are dead now, but they'll actually said the ship didn't actually break in half. Everybody thinks it did break in half. Yes, it's broken in half now, but how do we know it didn't break off when it was sinking?
Right.
Yeah.
Or how do we know that wasn't the cause? Maybe it already had a broken back. Maybe the ship had already had a broken back. And that's why the insurance wrote it off. Think about it. Because that's what happens to ships. See if it breaks its back, that's the spine of the ship. It can cause the ship to split in half and sink. And it usually doesn't do that. What happens is it usually starts to split, starts to flood. The more heavier the water in the front and the less in the back, and it'll just split. Maybe it was weakened because of fires in the coal rooms, because it was meant to be fires in the coal rooms. You're going down the road of the magic rabbit here.
I think you can put it up right up there with the Twin Towers. I mean, something is wrong. Something doesn't make sense.
I'm going to say the name of the Twin Towers. That was just weird. And that building, they two buildings collapsed.
Building 7 that collapsed. Yeah, that right there is what throws me.
Yeah, Building 7 collapsed, and there wasn't, guys, I don't know if you've seen that, but the world, everybody's seen that. But there was a building that not many people talk about that was right opposite
Building 7. Towers.
It didn't even have broken windows.
Right.
It collapsed.
And it collapsed. And they've got some footage showing small little boom, 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 boom on every level. I don't know if it's CGI or anything. You can create anything, but
see, that's the problem.
There were witnesses said they heard loud bangs coming from inside the building right before it fell, which would would coincide with, you know,
Demolition.
An implosion.
demolition. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people heard things that, you know, you can't record that.
Yeah.
I think they were smart, but
It's a show that we need to do one night. We need to actually do a show one night and talk about. And I know it's a show that it's really hard to talk about, but we need to talk about the Twin Towers, and what happened that night that day was horrendous.
well, I think the files are about to be opened come January. I think we're going to find out a lot of things in January.
I think we're going to find out a lot of things. I mean, I think we're going to find out who killed Kennedy.
Kennedy.
I think, yeah.
The Epstein, the everything. Yeah. I think everything's going to be released. I'm looking forward to that.
But, thank you, Julie. It's a good show. Thank you very much. But honestly, check out, Beard, check out the channels. Are you going live tonight? Are you live tonight? Or he's live next week?
Well, we're Truth About Bear will be Tuesday night. And then
out there on Wednesday.
Wednesday will be out there. Papa Joey and Uncle Tim.
And then Thursday's Drunk with Facts.
Right.
And then what, do you have another one? Or there's a health one you're doing, right?
That's my brother that's doing that one.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. That was interesting. I like that one.
I got enough shows to do.
Yeah.
Not enough days in the week.
It's when you start going down the road of the conspiracy. I know people that have went down the road of the conspiracy and they went too deep.
Yeah,
because it does. But it needs to be talked about, these things. I do believe that. I do think we need to talk about these things because there's no enough people talking about it. And that's what's wrong nowadays. People are not willing to talk about what's really going on in the world. I mean, it's like what's happening in Israel now, where. And I'm not going to get into this in grand scale, but what's happened to the poor women and children out there?
Yeah. And what's happening in Ukraine, people have no clue. Nobody knows what's going on in Ukraine. I've heard stories from sources, but it's horrific.
Exactly. I'm sitting in the chat there, but there's too much. I mean, the kids. What's happening to the kids now? That would make an interesting show, but those poor children that have just disappeared. The Chinese are bad for it. The Chinese are known for organ harvesting.
Right.
Yeah. And
so I don't mind doing all these conspiracy shows, but we got to be, I would say careful.
That'll be fine. What's the worst?
I mean, everybody's got opinions. Everybody can have opinions and all, but.
Yeah, but you have to watch because some countries are different from others,
Well, some tech companies and some will try to shut us down or censor us I think it's going to be better. I think since Twitter, it's been a lot better, but I just don't want keywords and the FBI showing up at my house.
As long as you don't mention names, that's the thing.
Right.
As long as you don't mention names, and that's why I dance round about. That's why I dance round about certain things. You have to watch. It's the same when you talk about. Look, when you were talking about that conspiracy and that. What is it? That place we were talking about the other day, the desert. What was it? Oh God, I forgot the name of it. My memory. That mountain.
Dulce.
Aye, so when we're talking about that, you still need to watch.
Superstition.
Aye, the superstition.
Oh, superstitions.
Even right? Can you imagine? You're not allowed to go there. No, why are you not allowed to go there? Because one, people disappeared. Two, people have been found dead, and the airplanes have crashed into the side of the mountain and stuff like that. But why? This is why you've got to ask questions. You need to ask questions. Because then it's like, if you didn't ask questions, people could get away with stuff.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to be good about this show of conspiracy. I mean, and I encourage everyone to send us your ideas, your conspiracy ideas. We'll go down any rabbit hole.
What's that? A Carol under? Did you put that? Oh my goodness, what's that? Did you say that you knew somebody that was in the Twin Towers?
Yeah, he was late to work and didn't make it. Worked on the 100th floor.
Oh my God.
Was late to work and didn't make it. That's yeah, it's good to ask questions.
It's good to ask questions. Joey, your opinion
on asking questions?
Aye, you good to ask questions.
No, yeah, that's how we learn. I mean,
Yeah.
if we don't ask questions, we stay where we're at. You know, we don't learn anymore. So
exactly. I mean, imagine nobody asked any questions about the Nazis, what they did. Yeah,
Right.
there was evidence, but imagine if they had somehow managed to cover all that up. Which
A lot of people still deny it.
They still deny it, and they shouldn't deny it because it did happen. I know well, they're dead now, but I knew people. I've met people.
I don't understand how that happens.
And I've physically met men, soldiers, British soldiers, that came across in the war, near the end of the war, the Polish camps with the refugees in it. And one of them tells us what happened, and one of them tells us they explained it, and he says it was horrendous.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's sad that this world's turned out to be, and we need to make this world a better place. We need to make this place better for people. It doesn't matter if you want to dress as a giant egg. Every day you go, you can dress as an egg. But it doesn't matter what you want to be in this world. You should be allowed to do it. But you should always ask questions. Because
I'm curious about what's really going on in like North Korea and China. I don't think the world knows. I think we would just be completely wiped away if we knew what was going on.
I'm going to go. I'm here with North Korea, and I'm going to say this now. There was reports in the early 2000s, 2006, they were actually eating each other.
Yeah, I heard awful things. I hope they're not true, but
I hope they're not true either.
There's a lot of torture, a lot of experiments on humans, a lot of over crowded prisons and work areas, and they do a lot of experimenting on humans. That's really troublesome.
Yeah, it's crazy, you know. So Joey, what's your subject for Wednesday? What are you talking about on Wednesday?
Well, you know, we only really got through half of our discussion last Wednesday, so
that's right.
We may pick up where we left off on that one.
We could do that.
We've got our underwater alien bases and what else?
Yeah, I've also came across some new information too, so that might be a good idea.
Part 2.
Yeah. Hey, part 2.
There's that many places, not just in the United States. So is it off the coast of California? There's meant to be underwater base.
They're everywhere.
California.
It's off California. Yeah, it drops off real big there.
Yeah.
And
I'll tell you the new who painted that. There's somebody in the chat. Let's see who painted the art. I've got it saved here. Talk amongst yourselves while I dive deep into my files to find out who did the art.
I'm going back through the comments because I remember somebody dropped a comment about something going on in New Zealand, which I don't know about that. So
I missed that.
Yeah, I'm not finding the comment in here, so it may have came off of Facebook or something.
Yeah, we were seeing that the other day. The ocean is the least explored out of all of that exist. I think we've explored a lot more space than we have the ocean. That was
right. This is interesting because it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 artists. Was it one? It was a mixture. So we've got Alex Sweetman, Danielle Rooney, Kip I'm going to pronounce that name. I'm sorry, I'm Scottish, right? Benjamin Bell. So we've got everyone was designed by a different person.
Wow.
So
interesting.
Yeah. So every one of them has been designed by a different one. There was more put in, but there's meant to be more get in. I don't know. It's saying something would be more getting.
But there's the same there's the same scenes in every painting. You know, there's familiar. They're connected.
Yeah, it's like a story, like Keith said. You know, it'd be interesting to put them side by side,
Like
Right.
Yeah.
and follow that story.
That's
See if you can.
I'll
Yeah.
see if I can research that tonight.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
do
wish
something
I
like that.
had pictures. There's more things that are hanging up in the Denver airport that are that don't make any
Of
sense.
course, there
It's
is.
not just the paintings. It's the
It's
architecture. It's the structure. It's the crazy looking symbols. They're everywhere.
Yeah, it was Jamie that asked that question earlier. She just posted
was this Jamie? Yes, I was. Was this
something about New Zealand. So
Yes, I was. I'll suggest to do that. Ballot in New Zealand need to be looked at. Will affect all of us for down the line. Oh, it ties into culture. I just wish honestly, I wish this world was a better place for people. I do feel the way the world's going, we're headed for something bad, and I do feel that something bad's coming.
Well,
Really
history
bad.
repeats itself.
I think there'll be another war. I think it's going to happen. I don't think it can be stopped now.
Eventually, it's inevitable.
Oh yeah. I don't think it can be stopped now. I think we're in the very, very start of World War III. And I don't think it can end unless somebody does something quick. Unless we stop killing each other, we stop killing women and children, we stop picking on people just because they're different. Yeah, I mean, just because it's horrendous.
I think the aliens
really
will
is.
intervene and save the planet. But yeah, we're going to probably end up almost destroying ourselves before we get help from out there.
Yeah.
From you and I, Tim?
Good plug.
Yeah. Joey and I are going to solve all the problems.
Vote for Tim and Joe as the next presidents of the United States. Yeah. When you start, you do a better job than once anyway. So
yeah, that'll be a show.
Aye, I could see he's running for the election. It's only about 5
How
years
to
away
stop
again.
The world from ending.
Yeah. I think it's neat, but look, I don't know what's going to happen, but
it's going to be galactic.
That's
what MacArthur said. MacArthur said our next world war will be a galactical war. You can pull it up and read it. It's in his quotes. He said that's the next war will be he said something galactical.
And World War IV will be.
And how would he know that?
Yeah. I don't think there'll be a World War IV.
No, I think no.
3 will take care of it.
Yeah.
You know, I think
I'd like to see an end of the wars.
I want to see an end of the war.
That could happen. The age of Aquarius comes through, and world changes for the first time ever. Peace and love and harmony. It could happen.
Happy season, happies, with the colours and the peace sign and that kind of stuff. Hey, Joey, that'll be taking you back. Were you ever happy? Did you ever have the?
Oh yeah, I was.
Peace.
Well, I grew up in the 70s, so.
I was kind of
I was a teenager in the 70s, so.
That kind of thing, But I just wish the world would be better for everybody, for every diversity. But some people are just strung in their ways, and that's the thing. They're just strung in their ways.
I think a lot of people have their heads buried in the sand.
Oh yeah,
they just don't care. What doesn't hurt them doesn't affect their everyday life. It's not important, and they could be the luckiest people, at the end.
I know.
Ignorance is bliss sometimes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
What we don't know don't hurt us, right?
Exactly.
That's very true. So, all about beer. Do you want to promote? Come on, where can they all find you? And then
you guys subscribe.
Let me put that up there. So if they tune in this next Tuesday, we're going to be partaking of a lot of different whiskeys.
The whiskey.
Yum.
We're going to smoke some whiskey.
Ooh, yum.
So it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Especially after we've had a few.
Oh God! Look, it's like whiskey. What kind of whiskey? It's got to be Scotch whiskey because that's the best. Because your stuff's not. I wouldn't say was all right.
I'm fine with Scotch.
Come on, it's like do you know there's a brewery near me, and what they do is they get the Jack Daniels casks.
Really?
And then
is it imported?
They import
the old cask, not just the empty casks.
Oh, okay.
And then they put whiskey into it, and then they store it away for years.
Wow.
And it's did you get that? The Scottish buy a lot of casks for years because they actually sometimes they break quite regular, and it makes amazing firewood. I'm going to tell you that right now. I've had an open fire with some of the barrels that have been chopped up, and you can actually pick up the wood and you can smell the burning.
Yeah.
You see when you put it in your little log burner, holy shit, it's like rocket fuel. And I'm not joking you, it's like sitting there with the suntan.
Put that in your glove box and see how far you get.
It's good stuff. It's like oak, so it's
yes,
oak, you know,
seasoned
oak. You know,
aged.
But listen, guys, everybody in the chat, thank you all for coming tonight.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
God knows what the subject will be next week.
It'll be fun. Stay tuned.
It'll be fun. If you don't see Tim again, it's just because the CIA has abducted him. But he should be back after a couple of months.
I've left some notes to be read after I'm gone.
You know, I'm sure Joey will come and visit you. What's that place called? That where they wear the orange jumpsuits so they put terrorists and stuff.
Rikers?
Like
Gitmo.
I will come and visit you. You know,
all right.
Like a lunch basket or something, like a fruit basket.
All right.
Or something like that.
Awesome.
But everybody in the chat, thank you so much for coming. Everybody, please check out each other and share your links and stuff like that. And we will catch you again. I've made a trailer and I can't remember what the what do you call it? The trailer is the outro that I made.
Outro. Oh well. Take care, guys.
In the darkness of the night, we send our dreams to the stars, leaving Earth behind, searching for life. Wonder if there are aliens in their cars, floating through this cosmic sea. Are we alone or just a mystery? Searching the cosmos, seeking the truth. All of our voices echo to the moon. Alien life, tales of the youth. Together we'll dance to the celestial tune. Galaxies swirl in an endless dance. Messages whispered, caught in the winds. The universe spurs our wild romance. In this quest, a new chapter begins. Eyes are watching from afar. Will we find them, or are they just a scar? Searching the cosmos, seeking the truth. All of our voices echo to the moon. Alien life, tales of the youth. Together we'll dance to the celestial tune. The galaxy